Hello and a warm welcome to Federal special program Capital Beat. Prime Minister Narendra Modi made Islamophobic remarks in an election rally in Rajasthan yesterday, saying that Muslims are infiltrators, they have too many kids, and he also attacked the Congress manifesto, saying that they will redistribute the wealth of the citizens amongst the minorities. Now, these were the remarks which he made in a Rajasthan rally yesterday. He also referred to former PM Manmohan Singh's remarks in 2006 that minorities had the first claim to the resources of the country. He made somewhat similar kind of statements in Aligarh as well today when Prime Minister was there, and he said that he doesn't appease Muslims, but he works for the Pasmanda Muslims. Now, how does one make out of these remarks made by the Prime Minister? Is it not tantamount to making a hate speech? What is the Election Commission doing? And is Prime Minister Modi really in a desperate state in 2024 as far as the elections are concerned? Joining me now, you can see three veterans on the screen. Javed Ansari, senior journalist, political commentator. Thank you so much, sir, for joining. We have columnist, author, and Professor Apurva Nand from the Delhi University. So thank you so much. And we have Gohar Raza, who's a renowned scientist, political commentator, and a documentary filmmaker as well. Thank you so much, Gohar, for joining. And let me begin with Apurva Nanji today. Apurvanand, how would you make out of the comments by the Prime Minister made yesterday in Rajasthan and what he said today as well?
So, Prime Minister, habitual offender that he is, and repeat offender, he is in his elements, and he did what he is known for. He peddled hatred, and he used Islamophobic tropes. And this is what he has been doing right from the beginning of this election campaign. If you recall his comment on the Congress manifesto, he said that it bears the imprint, every page of this of the manifesto bears the imprint of Muslim League. And then you also recall his speech at in one of the election meetings in Uttar Pradesh, where he repeated that lie about Kairana, saying that earlier you could see posters saying Makan Bikau hain, and our women were not safe, but now they are safe. We have this was a lie, but he repeated that. So Prime Minister is doing what he is known for, Narendra Modi, and he has been doing it in all election campaigns, and he did it now. So yes, one of the reasons that people are citing is that he is becoming desperate, and therefore he is now resorting to extreme Islamophobic statements to polarize people and mobilize his own electorate towards his platform. But I would say that this is also his language, his natural language, and he is using it. What he is known for, he cannot resist it. He did Kabristan, Shamshan. He did Pink Revolution, White Revolution. You remember his Hum Panch, Hamare Pachis. And in that extreme situation when Muslims were driven out of their homes and habitats in 2002, and were living in relief camps, those relief camps were being dismantled, ordered by Narendra Modi himself. And then he justified the dismantling of relief camps by asking his people, should we allow these baby-producing factories, Hum Panch Hamare Pachis, V5, our 25. So this is Narendra Modi, and this is also Bharatiya Janata Party, because I don't separate Narendra Modi from Bharatiya Janata Party. Other leaders of Bharatiya Janata Party have been doing the same. The Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, look at his statements. The Chief Minister of Assam, he said that I don't even need the votes of Mia Muslims. You have seen one candidate, BJP candidate, taking aims at a masjid in Telangana or Andhra Pradesh. So this is BJP. and their leaders are camping in Karnataka now and making use of a very unfortunate incident in which a Muslim man has killed a Hindu woman. Now, this is being communalized by the president of the Bharatiya Janata Party and other leaders. So, I would say that this is what BJP keeps doing, and there's nothing unusual about it. Nothing unusual about Narendra Modi, and nothing unusual about Bharatiya Janata Party.
I'll come to Javed now. Javed, does it go to show that Prime Minister is really in a desperate situation, especially after the reports which have come out after the first phase of elections was over? And he's resorting to the tried and tested Hindu-Muslim narrative, and which is what he's thinking probably could bring success to the BJP.
Neelu, if you recall, while we were talking day before, the day of the vote, at the end of the day, I was very cautious. I said, if things stand this way, this is just the end of the first round, so let's not get carried away. So therefore, I am not in the least surprised. I may be sad, I may be hurt and embarrassed that my Prime Minister, the Prime Minister of the of the Republic of India, can stoop to such a level, but I'm certainly not surprised. This is in keeping with his style. There's an adage in cricket: when in doubt, play forward. If you translate this to Mr. Modi's politics, whenever you find you're not making, things are not going your way, resort to this binary of Hindu-Muslim. So Pulwama is a souffle that cannot be made to rise twice, so something else. Now this thing is reacted. In fact, if left to me, I would not even want to talk about this, because this is precisely what they want. Reports of the first round of voting are not very favorable. The dream figure of 370, 400, if the first round trend holds, that will be a pipe dream, and therefore he's appealing to his core voters. He needs to galvanize his core voters. Till today, this election lacks a central emotive issue whereby you can spin an election. So he's in search for this. He's now the easiest target are Muslims. His favorite targets are Muslims. Pradhan Sahab told us, reminded us of what he said, Hamare 5, unke 25. I'll also remind you of what he said when asked by a foreign journalist that are you unhappy that Muslims died under your... He said, जब कोई कुत्ते का पिल्ला आता है तो भी... So we know on CA what did he said? He said, वही लोग हैं, उनके कपड़ों से आप देख लीजिए. तो उनकी निगाह में तो हमारी हैसियत वो लोगों की है, घुसपैठियों की है, कुत्ते की पिल्ले की है. तो मुझे तो बिल्कुल, I am not in the least surprised. Embarrassed, yes. Ashamed, yes. Hurt, yes. But certainly not surprised. And I hope to God I'm wrong, but I'm more than reasonably confident that ये तो trailer है. I mean, there is still worse to come, because we have an election commission which is supposed to be neutral, Constitutionally, it's been mandated to be neutral, but this will go down in the history, when the history of these times is written, as the most compromised, the weakest, and an effete election commission, which sees no evil, hears no evil, and speaks no evil.
Right.
Doesn't speak evil, doesn't even speak sense.
Right. But Gohar, I'll come to you now. There are reports that several petitions are now doing the rounds to put some kind of pressure on the Election Commission. There are applications which are being sent through emails to the Election Commission. We do not know whether Election Commission at all will shaken up to this reality. Will they at all gather the guts to send a notice to the Prime Minister or take some action? But in case if Election Commission, despite all the pressure by the civil society, by the citizens, if it doesn't shake up, do you think that the courts can intervene in this matter? Can the courts take some suo motu cognizance on this aspect? Because if what Javed is saying, that this is just a trailer and worse is yet to come, so we still have 6 phases to go, and what all the Prime Minister could say or could ever end up saying.
Before I answer this question on Election Commission, I would like to second and endorse once again what my two colleagues have said, that I'm not surprised. But I am very, very, very angry once again because he has crossed once again a Lakshman Rekha. The second point that before I come to what you have really asked me to comment on, I think that all fascists have a very limited number of words which they play around with. And these are keywords. If you look at the recent statement of Prime Minister, what is he using? Musalman, घुसपैठिए, अर्बन नक्सल, मंगलसूत्र, ज्यादा बच्चे, घोषणा पत्र, Congress. And if you look at at Amit Shah's speech, the same words have been repeated. What has been added this time in both these speeches given by the Prime Minister and the Tadi Par, both of them have added riots at some place or the other, हिंसा, riots, और खास तौर से इन दोनों वर्ड्स के साथ जो प्ले कर रहे हैं वो है। उसके साथ साथ उन्होंने माइनॉरिटीज को हटा करके, जो माइनॉरिटी का वर्ड इस्तेमाल किया ही जाता है हमारे मुल्क के अंदर, हालांकि सेकेंड लार्जेस्ट मेजॉरिटी भी कह सकते हैं हम उसको, उसके बावजूद दलित और ट्राइबल्स के ऊपर बड़ा फोकस है दोनों के की स्पीचेस में। सो आई एम सेइंग that in these conditions they do not have a vocabulary which can touch the hearts and the minds of the people other way around. It is because that the consciousness of a fascist is extremely limited and focused. Therefore, they keep on repeating these words, and they are repeating these words. I tried to analyze. There are about 25 to 30 words, which all of them, any spokesperson would repeat whether it is warranted in a discussion or not. Even if it is not required to be spoken, they speak those words and they drop those words. So people are fed up. People are angry about it. And people no more accept these words as their words because, on the other hand, they have already said that whatever they speak is a jumla, and they can turn around and always say that we didn't mean this, we didn't mean that. Now, the Prime Minister of the country this time has said what? He has said very clearly that Muslims are Ghuspatiya. Muslims are producing large number of children. It is scientifically wrong, it is statistically wrong, it's wrong in all ways, it's morally wrong, but he is repeating it. So he is, as Apurva Anand said, that he is appealing to his own audience. He is not worried and bothered about others, but he is in panic because this audience is shrinking. And there is an evidence now that the number of people who will subscribe to this kind of argument is shrinking. Now, coming to the petitions, as you asked, I would request I can't do it personally, but I would request every Muslim in the country and every secular person in the country to go to police station and file an FIR against him. Because he has committed crime against each one of us. He has committed a crime against every citizen of the country because he has threatened their existence. Amit Shah says that riots will happen if we don't win. If we don't win, then our army, recollect what the RSS chief had said. We can make an army in 3 days. In 3 days, they can burn the entire country if you club these two things together. Amit Shah's statement and his statement. So they are ready, in my opinion, to burn down this country. which means that I'll repeat myself that they have committed, both Prime Minister and Home Minister have committed crime against each and individual citizen of this country. I am angry because they have committed this crime in open. They have not done these strategic things sitting inside some room. They are doing it in public. And the public has to rise and go to police station and file an FIR against them. The other thing which is very important, as you said, is that the civil society has a great responsibility today. And Apurvanand and some of us took initiative, and many of us, in fact, individually, other groups also took initiative to write a petition to Election Commission. But we should also write a petition to the Supreme Court, saying that this is hate speech, and Supreme Court and our law does not allow hate speeches. We should go there and file whatever method is available to us. We should do it. The last thing that I would like to say in response to what you have said is, it is very important that every citizen of the country rises today. We can't sit silent, because the moment you are silent, you are encouraging them to do and repeat the same thing again and again and again. It is silence of the minorities. It is silence of those who love our country, those who love this land, and those who love the constitution and secularism in the country, that has encouraged them. Let's not be silent today.
But Apurvananji, I'll come to you now. If at all, this is, I mean, this is a polarizing technique. There's no two ways about it. But how many buyers do you think will be there this time? How many takers, for this kind of a narrative of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, given the fact that there's rampant price rise, inflation, people are hurt with joblessness. There is an issue of electoral bonds as well. So there are multiple issues which are on the ground, and there is a sentiment against BJP. So when Prime Minister talks about these Hindu-Muslim issues, how many takers do you think will be there on the ground? Will the people really buy his theory now? Of course, there have been instances in the past where people bought this theory, the voters were polarized. But what about 2024? Do you think 2024 will be any different this time? To unmute. You'll have to unmute, Professor. Yeah.
I have no way to make a claim that people would or would not buy what he's trying to sell. He has a core constituency, and as my colleague said, that what we observe now is that there is no excitement in that constituency about him. So what he's trying to do is to inject this excitement, and the only injection he has is this anti-Muslim, which excites the imagination of his core constituency. That is at least what he and BJP feel, that it works, it will work. This whole Islamophobic portion and the national security issue, these two things work. They have experimented with it, and they have succeeded, and therefore they think that since they have succeeded in on earlier occasions, it will work for them now, and that's why they are. But I think that now it has been overdone, and even his constituency will see through it. Even they will try to understand that here is a government which, with absolute majority, had 10 years. Now it doesn't have anything to show as achievement of these 10 years rule. Now what it is doing, it's creating a scare. It is driving fear in the hearts of its constituency against Muslims. So is this what they expect from their leader? They will ask this question, and they should ask this question. So I want to speculate, but I would expect them to ask this question. that where are the achievements? You come to us, just vote on the basis of your achievements, that you will build on these achievements. You are not doing it. What you are doing, you are creating scare in us and pitching us against our own neighbors, this time Muslims, very clearly, which I think all sensible people would realize that we have been living in India for centuries together, side by side. We have misgivings, we have prejudices, we have biases, but we have lived peacefully, relatively peacefully with each other for centuries. Now, here comes a man who wants to tear apart the social fabric. Are we going to allow it? I expect even his constituency to ask these questions.
All right. Now, coming to the political part of it, Javed, this time Congress manifesto has become a talking point. And I was just reading a short while back that Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge has posed a challenge, and he has offered a challenge, in fact, to Prime Minister Modi that you allow me to meet you, give me appointment, and I will come and explain. And you have to explain what all is wrong and why are you spreading fake news about the manifesto. Now, do you see this as a master stroke by the Congress? Because, of course, Congress manifesto has become a talking point. There are enough indications to show that Prime Minister Modi and BJP are rattled with the Congress manifesto. And there are several instances where they've just been talking about this manifesto when they called it an Indian Muslim League manifesto, and now again saying things about the redistribution of wealth. Now, do you think that this will really weigh down heavily on Modi? This entire talk revolving around Congress manifesto and saying things about it in some form or the other.
Look, I would never use the word master stroke, because as journalists we made this such common usage. Everything is a master stroke, just as every person, even a cycle thief, is a mastermind. So my advice to you as a friend would be don't refrain. But this is a good move. It's a smart move. They should, Mr. Kharge, if I were Mr. Kharge, I'm no one to advise him, but if I were the political manager of the Congress party, or if I was Mr. Kharge, I would challenge Mr. Modi to an open debate, public debate. You bring let's debate the Congress manifesto, and you show me where the word Muslim, leave alone Muslim League, is mentioned. Leave alone the Congress party. No political party in this country is even now has the dam to use the word minorities, leave alone Muslims. We've become a bad word. Apart from being labeled Ghuspetias, we've even become a bad word in the political lexicon of this country. This is the country that we live in now. So they should challenge them to this. This, again, I go back, and this is what Professor Saab was saying also before me. This is an attempt, a totally undisguised attempt to raise these communal fires, to raise the temperature, to get their co-voters out. I was on a English language TV channel on the day of the elections, and there we were talking, and they said, it's very good that at least we are talking of the constitution, and not when this debate about the constitution was going on, whether they will change it or not, and not about anything else. I said, please hold your horses. We may have spoken too early. This is just the first round. There are 6 other rounds to go. And this has become an habit. Even if I go deaf someday, I'll be able to predict what these guys are going to do next as far as this. Like I said, there's an adage in cricket: when in doubt, play forward. So when you are in a bind, the punching bag is there. Now Pulwama can't happen every second time. Can't happen the second time. So start with this. Who knows? I am again inserting a word of caution here. Please be careful. Please be wary. This is not the last that we've heard of these issues. Maybe there is something more sinister waiting to happen. If not in the next round, the round after that, or the round after that. So this is by no means over. And people should not get carried away by this fact that he went to Aligarh. So he says, look, I've made arrangement for my Muslim sisters that now they can go to Saudi Arabia without being accompanied by their husbands. This is no service done by Prime Minister Modi. This is the Saudi government's initiative, and this applies to all Muslims, all pilgrims going there to perform Hajj from across the world, not just India. So anybody trying to take credit for that is just fooling people. I, I, I'm a Haji. I went there in 2007. I know the rules. This is not this is not the way it happens. So first you call them ghuspetias, then you call them children producing factories. Now you're trying to divide pasmanda versus backward versus forward versus this. Please keep your eyes and ears open. Like I've always maintained, they will push every button they can. They will not let an opportunity go by. They will fight for every blade of grass. Everything is fair for them as long as they win. The rest will take. When in election mode, he can be less than prime minister here. And soon after election, he will go and prostrate himself and kiss the constitution. Sabka saath, sabka vikas, sabka vishwas. Now I'm waiting for June 4th. What is the next thing that he coins after Vishwas? What is he going to win?
Gaur, I'll come for the concluding comments now to you. So, is there a mechanism which can put the required brakes on Prime Minister Narendra Modi? Of course, we do not hope that Election Commission
Yes,
at
the
all
people
will.
of India. Yes, the people of India.
People.
That's the,
No, but
there's no other
I also
institution left. No
absolutely.
institution.
Right. So, Gaur, can we expect anything from the courts this time? I mean, courts have stood up time and again, uh, but can the courts intervene in this matter?
In this short period, I don't expect court to do something, but election commission definitely can do it, and court may quickly decide to instruct some kind of inquiry or impose some kind of inquiry on election commission if there is large public pressure. But let me also point out that he has talked about Mangal Sutra. What kind of person he is? He's talking about Mangal Sutra, which he has never ever respected in his own life. And the person talks about Mangal Sutra and scares women of the country who had to sell their Mangal Sutra when he imposed Notbandi. What kind of person is he? I'm angry. I'm not. I do not want to analyze things at the moment. The analytical mind keeps on working, but when you are angry, you are angry. What kind of person he is who presided over kicking out Rahul Gandhi from the parliament just because he used the word Modi. Modi was converted into a, a large number
Modani.
Modis who use it as their surnames, and then it was converted into a caste, and then it was converted into a insult to a caste, and now he openly consults Muslims of the country. What is this happening? I don't expect much from the court, and I agree with my colleague completely that we should today have confidence on people of the country. The grain of this country's people is DNA is secular. They cannot, yeah, there are problems. There is hate among castes, among religions, no doubt about it. We have lived despite all those problems and fault lines, as Apur said very clearly, for thousands of years. But there are problems. Yet we have lived and learned to live together amicably with love and passion and participation in each other's happy times and sorrow times. But today, it's time for people to rise, and it's our duty to tell them it's time to rise once again. We have kicked out of this country the strongest power in the world, which was British imperialism, Modi is not that important or that powerful. Let's have
But as,
confidence that people
absolutely.
will kick him out.
But as they say that democracy is always vibrant and resilient, and if we go by that, then this probably 2024 elections could be the biggest test of democracy. Thank you so much, Professor Purvanand Javeji Gohar. Thank you so much. It was wonderful having you on the program. And one appeal to the viewers who are watching this discussion: subscribe to our channel, send us a feedback, and stay tuned to the Federal.
Subscribe to the Federal's YouTube page for more news and updates.